Kenya is seeking French support in pushing for a new Africa financial architecture that it will be proposing at the next G7 summit.
President William Ruto says talks of a fair Africa financial architecture will guide Kenya and the rest of the continent in looking at the next phases of engagements and commitments emerging from the Africa Forward Summit.
Here now is that report.
According to the African Development Bank, there is an estimated $400 billion in annual development financing gaps, with 23 countries currently in financial distress. Kenya wants this disparity addressed.
And I have asked my good brother to support us as we push for the new Africa financial architecture.
President William Ruto, while speaking alongside his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, on the first day of the Africa Forward Summit in Nairobi, said a new African financial architecture will address high debt servicing and reliance on domestic resource mobilization as external debt from private sector creditors skyrockets.
Fair international financial architecture, one that recognizes our opportunities, one that does not unfairly judge.
So Africa is developing in an unprecedented fashion. It's the most dynamic continent in the world. Last year, more growth than Southeast Asia. It's a continent where there are more than 1 billion young people.
To curb reliance on foreign aid and to strengthen capital mobilization, Ruto vouched for public-private partnerships between the private sector and government.
You guys are stranded with a lot of money, and we are stranded as in government with a lot of projects. We must find the mechanism that leverages on private sector resources.
The Africa Forward Summit, co-hosted by Kenya and France, has brought together 5 heads of state and 1,500 business leaders to Nairobi, with Kenya aiming to leverage the summit to solidify its position as a strategic gateway for global investment, while pushing for structural changes in how the world engages with the continent. At the first day of the Africa Forward Summit, delegates here will be looking to balance the critical components, and there are 2: cooperation and mutual respect. Alan Auko, Prime Edition.